another Super 1000. It'd be her third of the season, and it would only be the third of the season. So who's going to join her in tomorrow's showpiece match? The odds say Wang Zhi Yi. She's 8-3 ahead on the head-to-head against her fellow countrywoman. So Han Yue safely on court, and we wait for the arrival of the world number 2. Didn't play yesterday. She was due to have met Chen Yufei in the quarter-final, but Chen Yufei withdrew, we think. Apparently a thigh injury is the latest news we have. So you'd think she'd be the fresher of the two, Han Yue. This is the 12th meeting between these pairs. 8-3 it is, as you see, in Wang Zhi Yi's favour, and she's won the last 4. Most recently, and it was very recently, the Malaysia Masters final a couple of weeks ago, although that did go 3 games and an hour and a quarter. However, how much difference do you think it's going to make, Bobby, that Han Yue didn't have to play a match yesterday?
Not a lot, actually, on this occasion. Quite often I'd say yes, massively. You know, you can plan your day, you can train for certain things for today's match rather than worry about yesterday's. You've got time to do that. However, I don't think fitness came into it yesterday for Wang Zhi Yi. She is a very fit player and so forward. I don't think she will have lost much from having an extra match.
There's Han Yue's stats. They're both 25, actually, these two. She's won 5 World Tour titles, Han Yue. And in fact, this year, she's made the semis at the All England, the final of the Malaysia Masters, and lost both to Wang Zhi Yi. There's her half. She's only played barely just over an hour of badminton this week because of that walkover and 2 easy wins in the first couple of rounds. And Wang Zhi Yi, 2-time Asian champion. She's actually lost in 2 Super 1000 finals, both times to An Se-young, one in Malaysia, one in Birmingham. But as mentioned, she did beat Han Yue to win the Malaysia Masters a couple of weeks ago. Actually, the last time Han Yue beat her was at the Arctic Open, and that was nearly 2 years ago. And they've been playing each other since 2017, these two. There's her progress. Got taken to 3 games by Scotland's Kirsty Gilmore. And then Go Fang Jia forced her into a fairly tight second game. I didn't think that Wang Zhi Yi was anywhere near her best yesterday, even though she won in straight games.
No, she looked good physically. She was moving really well. She's got possibly the best technique with the racket in the women's singles, in my opinion. Even better than Chen Yufei and An Se-young.
Ready to play?
I'm talking about. I'm not necessarily saying effective. I don't think her mental game is as strong as the 2 people I've just mentioned, and neither is her defense. And also she leaks errors. She makes mistakes with the shot, but it looks good. Yeah, Wang Zhi Yi's been in 4 Super 1000 finals and the World Tour finals last year. And actually, the last 4 meetings you mentioned that Wang Zhi Yi have won in their head-to-head, 3 of them have been massive matches. Malaysian Masters final, you mentioned, All England semi-final, the World Tour finals final,
ladies and gentlemen,
this one as well. I mean, they won't feel the pressure here.
Han Yue, China. And on my left, Wang Zhi Yi, China. Wang Zhi Yi to serve. Love all. Play.
So here we go. Wang Zhi Yi serving.
She looks like the better player today as well, doesn't she? I mean, I know we haven't had a single point yet, but talking purely about the outfits, the fashion police have got to have a word, I think, with Han Yue, because you can't wear those blue and green shorts with that red top. It offends me slightly.
Yeah, fashion police are poised. Make no comment.
It's aggressive from Han Yue.
The reason I mentioned Chen Yifei, the build-up to this match, is fascinating because at the moment, Wang Zhi Yi's ranked 2 in the world, Han Yue's ranked 4, and Chen Yifei's ranked 5. And Chen Yifei obviously is going to lose points because she is injured and she won here last year. And at the moment, she is down to be playing in both the US Open and the Canada Open, both of which are Super 300s, but she needs the points. So it's pivotal how she gets on with the recovery. That's a fabulous shot from Wang Zhi Yi. Started well here. Because obviously, if she starts collecting some serious points, it affects these two. She could get ahead of both these two players in the ranking.
Yeah, it does. And also, she's played exactly 10 tournaments to make up her ranking, and you need your best 10 results from all the tournaments you play. I mean, some of these players on the World Tour have played 20 to 25 events to make up their ranking, and therefore picking the best 10 results. Chen Yifei is having to rely on all of her results, this being the 11th tournament she gets to choose from. I had a look last night, and I think Chen Yifei is essentially going to lose different tournaments' points. Because the Singapore Open last year might have been higher than this, you know, whatever it might be, but essentially she's going to lose 3,000 points. Currently in 5th, she might end up in 7th or 8th, and it then affects seeding for future tournaments and then World Championships we've already talked about, just while we wait for the result of this challenge.
That's bang on the line.
Correction in.
But, you know,
Service over.
Chen Yifei coming into events like she has this week, being much lower down in the seedings, really puts the cat amongst the pigeons. And the chance of potentially another player who's highly seeded, highly ranked, with aspirations of getting to things like the China Open final, things like the World Championship final perhaps, who might come across now Chen Yifei along the way and get knocked out. So it affects so many things.
Well, she's put that long, but I've got to say, I like the way that Wang Zhi's come out here, playing very attacking badminton. It wasn't very fluent yesterday from her, but she's clearly decided that attack is the best policy.
And similarly, Han Yue has too. They're going at it here, and I think that's what's making this quite an enjoyable watch already, very early on. But yesterday's match for Wang Zhi Yi against Gao Fangjie, oh, lovely shot, lovely little backhand reception. Yeah, yesterday's match just didn't have
service over
the sort of same wow factor.
4-2.
She's a tall
service
player,
over.
Use that to full effect.
3-4.
A good net shot and sets up the short lift. Really well dispatched from Wang Zhi Yi.
She's played a couple of excellent nets, hasn't
5-3.
she? And the reward was she could play that from mid-court and angled that beautifully. Actually a bit deeper than I thought, to be honest. Excellent shot.
Yeah, still very short though, and credit to the net shot for getting that short lift.
Service over 4-5. 5. All.
Look, even the headband is coordinated today for Wang Zhi Yi. With that camouflage, it looks like she's dressed for badminton at 3:30 and paintballing at 6. Good pressure, but equally good defense. Han Yue. This is a good rally.
Well, just wore her down in the end. It was an energy sapping point. The longest rally of the match, I would reckon.
6-5.
And a really determined feel to it.
Hold.
That's fantastic from Han Yue.
Wow, it is a big
Service
smash
over.
winner, isn't it?
6.
Wasn't too much wrong with the length of the lift. Just hits the perfect
Thank you.
attacking shot. Yeah, look, she's right back in the tram lines. Wow. Well, that's 2 backhand
Service
defensive
over.
errors for Han Yue
7-6.
in the last 3 rallies. Seems that's the place for Wang Zhi Yi to go hard, at the moment at least.
That is absolute perfection. Couldn't have walked around the net and placed that with her hand any better.
8.
And to
6.
play this, moving fast into the shot as well. It's really impressive. She's so balanced. Yeah, good shot from Wang Zhi Yi. Had enough width, was close enough to the line.
9,
To force Han Yue
6.
to move a few more inches down to her right. And it caused the error. Well, there was a shot about halfway through that rally
Service
where Han
over.
Yue was late
7.
and played a
9.
sort of neutralising shot into the forecourt, and Wang Zhi Yi came in and sort of did a little hold, a little deceptive backhand. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Perhaps taken it early and played the net spin and kept the attack. Gave it back to Han Yue there.
8, 9.
Wasn't completely straightforward, but it's the kind of shot you expect her to make. That's as good as it gets.
Service over. 10,
Well,
8.
Han Yue did one earlier, right back in the court. Wang Zhi Yi lands on the back line after hitting that winner. That is brilliant.
So,
11-8
3-point lead
interval.
for the world number 2 as they go for the interval.
Twenty seconds. 20 seconds. Eleven, 8. Play.
Oh, nice confidence from Han Yue.
It's a pretty good lift, though, wasn't it?
Hey, it's come back. Should have finished that. Good reaction from Wang. That is a terrific punch clear. Oh.
Missed it. She's going to challenge. She won't get the joy. This is definitely wide.
Yeah, it is. It's like Houdini for a moment, getting out of trouble in that rally. The escape was pretty impressive.
I think she's challenging it just out of disappointment because she did so well to stay in the rally. And then one of the easier shots, she's put the wrong side of the line from her point of view.
So she's just recomposing, settling her nerves.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Yeah, she had a
One challenge
casual
remaining.
glance up at the big screen, but more out of confirmation.
Service over.
I think she knew herself.
9, 11.
That one was wide.
Play. Service over. 12.
Gets away with that, Wang
9.
Zhi Yi. There was a little backhand deception there, but it wasn't very deceptive. Sort of easy to read and could have got herself in trouble. Too slow. The drop shot was too slow. Again, she gets lucky there,
13,
Wang Zhi Yi.
9.
Han Yue had both options available. Tight spinning net shot early as Wang Zhi Yi was late, or deception up the line. Went for the latter. Hit it too hard.
14.
Just
9.
frittering away a few points here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Poor little spell for Han Yue.
and you just can't afford to do that because Wang Zhi won't give you too many unforced errors. She won't give you these points back. You have to earn them.
Oh, good defense. God, there's some good rallies in this match. This could get pretty tiring if we as we get to the latter stages, because
Service
these two
over.
are clearly
10, 14.
fairly evenly matched and know each other's games really well.
kind of result other than that net cord, and it would have been Han Yue's point. That was really unlucky.
Service over. 15.
Look at this.
Completely in control, wasn't she?
You're absolutely right. She was stranded on the back line. Hit the net cord and surprised everybody. That's one of those ones where the apology probably is required.
And again, she's played that shot 3 or 4 times with very telling effect.
16-10.
Well, the forehand rear corner of Wang Zhi Yi, she is very dangerous from there. And it's the opposite way around for Han Yue, who's hit a few from around the head. Everyone's got their own sort of abilities, and it seems Wang Zhi Yi's very deceptive in that forehand corner.
$17-10.
Some of the net shots actually by both players are phenomenally good, but at the moment, no question, Wang Zhi Yi has the edge, the big edge.
Got a interesting little factoid for you, Trevor.
Go on.
Their very first meeting, China International Challenge back in 2017.
Service over. 11,
I'm going to ask you to have a guess
18.
at the game score. Now, normally you'd need 3 guesses, and I might give you 1 or 2. But just as a clue, you're going to need 4 guesses.
Service
Some
over.
kind of different scoring system was used.
19.
Exactly.
11.
Wang Zhi Yi won the match 3 games to 1 in that quarter-final of the IC in China. The score, it seems, was played, well, the match, it seems, was played 5 games to 11 points at the time. Don't think I've seen that before.
No. Well, here,
20.
she's earned herself 9
game
game
point,
points, Wang Zhi Yi.
11.
Han Yue doing well to prolong
Service
this
over.
opening game a little bit further. Wang Zhi
12,
Yi has just won, prior to
20.
that, 9 of the last 11 points.
And it feels like that, doesn't it? It feels like she's just taken over.
Yeah, the second half, since the interval was at 11-9, and it looked a very close and competitive match.
Game.
Well, not anymore, at least not so far.
First game, won by
21-12
1-3.
in that opening
21-12.
game. As Wang Zhi Yi just completely dominated after the interval. And Han Yue with much to ponder. She trails now. 1 game to love.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Second game, love all, play.
Inch, perfect. The length,
One
the lift
love.
of Wang Zhi Yi. No complaints from Han.
Two.
I thought we might have seen
No.
a challenge, but she was close enough to it to see that one go wide. A good rally. It's cut. It looks like it came back in.
Definitely, there was a bit of drift there, just brought that back.
3 love.
Came off our racket here, and I thought that's going to go out by a couple of inches, and it just came back.
Actually landed inside the line in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, we're sat right down that line, and gave us a great view of that.
That's judgment by Wang Zhi Yi.
Service over.
Couldn't have played the
1,
lift any better.
3.
I thought it was going to go out the back.
That's way beyond the back line.
Service over.
I get the feeling Wang Zhi Yi is
4 1.
the aggressor here. She certainly was in the second half of that opening game, but she started this with the same intent, and anyway, needs to use a bit more initiative. That's better, that's more like it.
Service over. 2 4.
Oh, that's a great shot.
Yeah, the
3,
cross, well, it was
4.
somewhere between a cross clear and a cross drive. It's too flat. And anyway, took the chance. Definitely some drift. Whilst that was always going to go long,
Service
it
over.
moved 3 or 4 inches from left to
5,
right as well.
I think it's
3.
been more noticeable today than it has been any day during the week, actually.
Yeah, there hasn't been much left to right. Arguably a faster end.
That was a bit of a gift, wasn't it, for Wang Zhi Yi?
6 3.
She knew, anyway, she got that all wrong. Well, she couldn't finish from short range, anyway, and she paid the penalty in the end.
7 3.
The way Wang Zhi Yi moves around the court, it really is a joy to watch. Her footwork's good. The balance, the poise, the strength to get out of trouble, but also we call it racket preparation or shuttle preparation in coaching. Oh, that was close. Good judgment.
Oh, exceptional judgment to leave that.
8-3.
The moment it leaves your opponent's racket, the shot's moving, your racket needs to get out there in a way where the strings are then flat to the shuttle to get it back over the net. And that's what moves first. So even when the smash comes, before you move off a defensive base, you sort of
Service
throw
over.
your arm and racket out
4,
underneath where the shuttle's going to land,
8.
and your body automatically follows. Wang Zhi Yi is the sort of textbook example. Well, that looks closer than I thought.
Out.
Wang Zhi Yi and the line judge expected.
Well, clearly Han Yue agrees. She has asked Hawkeye to double check this.
It bounced quite a bit back in court, and that's what makes me suspect it was closer than Wang Zhi Yi thought.
Close, but not close enough.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 9-4. Play.
Took a gamble there, Wang. Didn't get the reply she was expecting.
Well, she won't play a better shot than that this afternoon.
Good rally from Han Yue.
Service over. 5.
Early into the net.
9.
Plays a quality shot down and disguised drop shot. That is brilliant. Well, I said the previous rally was start to finish great from Han Yue. This
Service
one
over.
can
10,
be applied
5.
for Wang Zhi Yi. I don't believe Wang didn't kill that.
Service over. 6.
Yes, there was a bit of deception,
10.
but look where she was standing.
I think maybe she didn't actually think it was going to clear the net. And then by the time she realised they had, it was too late to do anything.
That does damage mentally, having missed an easy kill. Not that she even attempted the kill, but...
Well, no damage there, I don't think. Except
Service
to the
over.
scoreline from Han Yue's point of view.
11-6
11
interval.
points to 6 at the mid-game break.
Carrying on in the second the way she ended the first, Wang Zhi Yi has been more aggressive than Han Yue and looks full of confidence.
Twenty seconds. 20 seconds. Eleven, 6. Play.
Just missed it. That would have been phenomenal if she got that inside the sideline.
I can't believe she managed to get it over the net. Brilliant
12,
shot from Wang
6.
Zhi Yi. Look how tight this is, off the net cord. Look at Wang's eyes.
She was beaten all ends up, had it been on target, but it wasn't. And that's out the back as well. And all of a sudden, it's a one-sided scoreline.
13-6.
Well, two teammates, similar age. Slightly better track record, of course, for Wang Zhi Yi, higher ranked. And it seems that Han Yue is playing catch-up. That was a great touch.
Service over. 7-13. Service over. 14-7. Service over. 8-14.
Just long. She's challenging.
Wang Zhi Yi challenges, call
She
out.
really thought long and hard over whether to challenge this.
Well, she's got two in hand. She may as well use one, I guess, if she thinks it's relatively close.
I thought she'd wasted one a little earlier. Or was that the end of the first game, perhaps?
We might get a confirmation. That
Challenge
was well
unsuccessful.
long.
One challenge remaining. 9-14. Play.
There we go, still one in hand. Well, she's challenging again here. Now, this is a little bit closer. Whether it's close enough, I'm not sure, but it's certainly closer than the last one.
It's a lift on the back line, Trevor. You know how I feel about these things.
Well, there's always the exception that makes the rule. We'll see. Was closer, but it wasn't close enough.
Challenge unsuccessful.
So now she is out of challenges.
No
The lead's
challenges
down to
remaining.
4. Just got to be a bit careful here. Because Han Yue is not a player to take liberties with.
Play.
That's 4 points in a row for the world number 4.
11,
Not done with yet.
14.
Sets up a nice attack with that little push down cross court. Good net exchange. Yeah, well left.
Service over. 15-11.
Could have done more with that. Oh, luckily it's gone long anyway.
16-11.
Well, just as she kind of threatened that maybe she'd make a fight of this second game,
17,
2 or 3 errors have given the initiative straight back to Wang Zhi Yi.
She was back to within 2 points, I think, at a few minutes ago. And Wang Zhi Yi, semi-final last year, is including
18,
those ranking points
11.
from the 2024 Indonesia Open in her ranking to keep her at 2. So, in a way, she stayed where she is in the rankings. If she loses this semi-final, if she gains and makes it through to the final, which it looks like 12, she's on track to do,
18.
she's going to improve her ranking. Not necessarily the position she's in. She won't catch An Se-young in top spot, but it will make it harder for others to catch her.
That's a stunning shot. That's an absolute beauty. Wasn't that far away from it anyway, but completely powerless as that
12.
shuttle flashed past her.
It's nice having that cushion of what was 6 points. Just gives you a bit of confidence, doesn't it? So you can go for things. And growing in confidence when you make it too. Sailing back in, I reckon. I reckon the drift saved her here.
Definitely in. Definitely in.
It was going out off the racket, and the instinct from Hanway is that.
But she didn't learn from earlier.
Yeah.
You saw one do exactly the same. One shuttle behaved the same way. So 8 match points for Wang Zhi Yi. It's tell you what, I thought that might have been wide. She's got no challenges left.
13.
Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, that's right. She's out of challenges. I think it's just caught the outside, but it was close. Well, drum roll, please, is usually the phrase, and the Indonesian crowd have started that for us. Feathers coming off the shuttle, that's going wide.
I tell you what, she continues Wang Zhi Yi to have Hanway's number. That's 5 victories in a row against her fellow Chinese. And this was one of the easier ones, to be honest. Last time they met, 75 minutes. This time, exactly half that length. Just 37 minutes it took. And Wang Zhi Yi into the final, where she will take on An Se-young tomorrow afternoon.
21-12. 21,
and a pretty
13.
convincing winner, truth to tell, in this all-Chinese semi-final.
That's going to be a good game. I was really excited by the prospect of seeing a repeat of last week's Singapore quarter-final if Chen Yufei had continued her run this week, because she was looking brilliant. But credit today to Wang Zhi Yi. She is looking better than yesterday. And she might need to be even a little better again tomorrow.
So, Wang Zhi Yi wins 21-12, 21-13 in just 37 minutes. Up next, we've got our first women's doubles semi-final. Should be a good one too. Li and Lu of China take on Tan and Tina from Malaysia. In a moment. Warm welcome back to Jakarta for our continuing coverage of this year's Indonesia Open. I think they've spotted our camera. And we've reached our 5th match of the day. It's the women's doubles between Li Jing and Lu Ximin of China. And they face Pearly Tan and Tina Muralitharan of Malaysia. The other semi-final will be very good as well later on today. Lu and Tan, the top seeds, against Beck and Lee, have been excellent so far in this competition.